Underdog, Sidearmers, I'm so proud to be doing this again. And Coach Freeborn, thank you for doing these video calls. And we just want you to be able to learn from the best. I'm so pumped that we've got Erik Yardley with us. I mean, I rooted for this guy and I got to interview him last year. And Erik, thank you for doing this.
Of course, anytime.
Absolutely. Well, Coach Freeborn, you know, our whole point in doing this, your whole vision in doing this is helping coaches, players, and every sidearmer who loves the game to come together wherever they are, right? And learn and grow and be together. So what question do you have to lead us off for Erik Yardley tonight?
Just something I've been getting kind of like for guys kind of starting their seasons, obviously velocity, right? It just seems to kind of be a common question. And, hopefully guys, maybe we're working on that during this, the off season, right? But like, any thoughts on that, Erik? Like now that the season has started, like I try and tell guys like, don't worry about it as much, especially low slot guys. And I always tell guys like hitters are going to give you good feedback. But any thoughts on that, Erik?
Yeah, first things first, like what you said at the end there, if you're throwing a good fastball and the hitters aren't hitting it, then it's probably a good fastball. If you're throwing a fastball and the hitters are hitting it, then it's probably not very good. Or it needs work. I don't like to say things aren't very good. Things need work.
Yeah.
But for the basis of that question, like the velo, obviously has become a very hot topic in the last several years. Just guys are throwing harder, and it's tough for a lot of us to try and gain velo. It's tough for us, like you said, especially in season, to figure out like, hey, I just spent 4 months, 5 months, 6 months trying to get ready for the season. What do I do now? And I get a lot of those questions too when guys reach out on social media or however it is they reach out. And it's like, hey, man, how did you start throwing harder? And there's a lot of resources nowadays with different throwing workloads with weighted balls, bands. I'm starting to get introduced to water bags and whatnot. And they all work. But usually the first thing I ask is, what's your throwing program like? Like, are you throwing enough to strengthen your arm to get yourself to throw harder? And I'm not saying you need to throw harder. Obviously in today's game, it would be nice if you could. That's always just a way to open eyes. But like for me, I always wanted to become the best athlete I could. And in any sense of the word, like if I was trying to lift more, I would try to move as much weight as I could, as fast as I could. So like just using a deadlift, for example, like if I could move the 225, okay, how fast can I move it? And then once I can move it fast enough, I put more weight on. Same thing with throwing for me. Like if you can work your way out to 120, 150, kind of slow, kind of getting the arm going, doing whatever you need to do. And then when you get coming in, yeah, we don't do the same pull downs as everybody else would, but how fast can I move my arm to sync my body up to still hit my partner in the chest or in the general vicinity, but basically forcing my brain and my body to sync up to move faster. And if I move faster, I'll throw harder. At least that's my non-scientific version of, hey, like if you want to jump higher, jump higher. If you want to run faster, run downhill. So it's like, if you want to throw harder, what are you doing beyond the workouts or beyond anything else to throw harder? Because you only get, 5, 10, 15 minutes a day to throw. So what are you doing during that throwing program to make yourself more athletic, more in sync, more efficient to throw the ball harder at your partner with control? And obviously don't just send it for the sake of sending it, but that's always been my thing when these guys are asking those questions. It's like, okay, but what are you doing to try and throw harder besides just strengthening your shoulder with bands or doing the weighted ball programs? Like, are you trying to move faster? Because if you can, then that means you're syncing up your lower half to your pelvic twist, all that stuff, like to your shoulders. Everything is moving in a way that gets you to throw harder. So that's just always been kind of my vibe. And then again, like part of being sidearm is that I feel like movement over velo, but it's just where the game is now. That if you throw harder than the next sidearm guy, you'll get a better look than your playing partner, and that's just the reality of the business of the world that we live in today. So that's just part of it.